What's up, Internet? We are back with more Sega SMS Advanced Mega Cartridge Action Thingy with 100 Game Gear and SMS games on here, but no Mega Drive, even though they clearly do use the word Mega in the title. That's not confusing at all. Last time we took a look at some decent games in the awesome Power Strike, an okay version of Prince of Persia, the bizarrely bad Psycho Fox, an okay version of R-Type and Rainbow Islands, but today we're taking a look at Rampage. I'm not super familiar with Rampage. I know what this game is. I know there's apparently a movie in the works, which I find to be odd. But you can pick your monster of choice. We're going to go with Lizzie because I've always been a huge Godzilla fan. I don't think I've ever actually played the... No, I kind of played the original Rampage on the N64. And I have the Wii version of like a weird, newer version of it. But the idea of Rampage is simple. You blow stuff up, you stomp on buildings. It seems like a good old time. Nope, you don't get away. I get to eat you. And you hopefully don't get murdered. Climbing buildings seems to be pretty hard in this game. Stomp. How do I, yeah! There we go. You're supposed to be able to stomp on those. Now, if I recall, you don't want to touch that, that sort of neon lights on the right side of this building. So we're going to take the left side of the building. I've got some ideas for how we can make this slightly less. I wish that guy would stop throwing freaking dynamite at me. But yeah, I'm kind of familiar with Rampage on the N64. That's it. I know that jumping on the tops of buildings blows them up rather quickly, but the idea is simple. You ingested something that turned you into a monster, and now you're just so darn angry at society that you have to blow everything up. Makes sense to me. I will say this version of the game feels like it lacks weight. I don't know if that helped me or not, eating fire. I want to eat that, though. Alright, let's climb building. I will say the building climbing mechanics in this particular version don't work so well. I know there was a version of this, like, that took away the initial 3 characters and gave you different characters. I think that was also on the N64, and, like, it took place in space. But, I'm not super familiar with Rampage. I kind of get it. I played it once or twice, but it's not a game I'm hugely into. But that said, it's you know, it's a fun game for the time. I guess you could kind of say, in sort of a rather esoteric way, it was sort of like a earlier concept of, what was it, King of the Monsters? Except that would be like if Rampage was pro wrestling, basically. And less good. And, I mean, Rampage is not great, by any means. But, you know, it's okay. It's a game where you're a Godzilla beast and you blow things up. There's not a lot to really hate about it. It's just, I think there are better versions of this game, and I think there are better games that do the whole Godzilla thing better. I mean, there's Godzilla. I played the Wii fighting game Godzilla, and while the waggle controls were not to my taste, that was a better version of this. Let's see, what else was a really good Godzilla game? You know what was? Katamari. Completely different tone of game, but it was a better Godzilla game, I'll say that much. But, you know, if you like Rampage, this is Rampage on a handheld. I'm sure they had different handheld Rampages that weren't this. I'm not sure how well they fare, because, again, I'm not the most familiar with Rampage, but here we are. Music's pretty good. And it looks alright. I'm going to eat you, you silly person. Quit it. I'm trying to eat you. Can't you see that? I wonder if King Kong ever had these issues, like just getting frustrated trying to eat a guy who wouldn't let you eat him. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen King Kong. Godzilla never had those problems. He just melted things with nuclear fire out of his mouth. And that's why we love him. But we love Mothra more, because Mothra is best kaiju. Everyone knows it. Oh, can I land on that? I totally want to. But I can break it. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's great, but you know, it's for another thing on a multi-cart to take up space. I've played worse. I think there was an NES version of Rampage, actually. I think there was, anyway. I don't recall it being very good. I think it was one of those, like, Tenjin things, if I recall. Pretty sure, anyway. I wish climbing buildings was easier, though. This is, what is the hitbox for that? Like, I'm seriously trying to climb all the buildings, but it just won't let me. Alright, well, I'm getting frustrated. Anyway, that's Rampage. Next, we have Restar. Some people call it Restar. I pronounce it Restar. The shooting Starfish. I'm more familiar with the Mega Drive version, but I do quite like this game. Got a review of it, too. Go see that. But, here we go. That's an okay rendition of the song. Of course, the Mega Drive version is a lot better. Well, I am kind of rocking out to this, honestly. It's good music. Alright, let's go Game Gear Restar. Alright, so far this seems like a fairly faithful rendition, like the levels seem fairly similar. Yep, this looks like pretty much a one-to-one recreation of the first level, at least. The music could be better, but it's decent. I don't recall being able to do that in the original, though. That's interesting. I don't remember an enemy with a hat you could throw. No! I wanted the chest. Go away, Usagi. Alright, there we go. These are probably telling me I should go downward, but of course, I'm a rebel. We're gonna get that chest, because it's telling us to go down, we definitely need to go up. There we go, extra heart. Oh, Hellstar. Restar was a game about awesome movement physics and grabbing things. And it had some of the most fantastic animation and music. This was like one of those must-play games that I think very few people did, which is odd because it was available on like every Genesis compilation ever. I don't remember these blocks being here in the Genesis version. Ooh! Gotta reach into holes to grab stuff. Oh! Oh yeah, gotta fly up on the little puffball seed. This is good. I like this. But I like a Restar in general, so... It's a little bit slow. It does feel like the frame rate could be a lot better. But you know, otherwise, this is a fairly faithful rendition. And I mean, I think Restar was a really fun game to begin with. If you can get past the slowdown, I'm thinking this is pretty good. That said, if you can't get past the slowdown, totally understand it. Go play the Genesis version. It's available everywhere at this point. I will say controlling the... I don't know if I just got lucky, but controlling yourself on the little flight bar seems to be a lot easier in this version, at least. I've always had trouble with this on the Genesis version. Could be that the slowdown is helping. I just realized I want to go get the thing that I can't get that's a Saturn logo. Because the Sega Saturn is awesome. Whee! I don't recognize those little glowy squares. Those little columns bits. Alright, got the height bonus. Let's play one more level. I really like Restar. Not gonna lie, I could probably just sit here and play this game. Okay, this is interesting. So this level's using the same music of level 2 from the Genesis, but the level seems to be fairly different. That enemy's completely new. But I remember the level 2 of the original Genesis Restar was like inside a dark forest. This is different. So maybe it was just they wanted to make the first level similar to, like, reassure people that they were definitely getting a restart and then just completely hit them with something new? Maybe? I don't recall there being an invulnerability power-up in Restar, ever. This is definitely something that's different. I am genuinely interested in what this is. This is different and odd, but also very good. I don't know what the hell that mole thing was supposed to be, but it looks like the guys from Bonanza Bros. I was going to say Tantar, which is true, but we never got Tantar. Was it Mobo and Robo, I believe? The guys with no eyes, but had sunglasses and, like, really big noses. I think we need to go down here. Yeah, this is completely different. Okay. Fling yourself. Oh, and there's the exit. You're not allowed to kill me, Mobo Mole. Ah. Good game. Could've got a better height bonus, though. Okay, on to game number 3, Road Rash. This is a game, or at least a game series, I hear a lot of people talk really highly about. I've never played any of these games, though. And it's by US Gold, so I'm not wildly thrilled about this, but it's a probe conversion, for what that matters. Gotta admit, the title looks good. Okay. So let's see. Sierra Nevada, Grass Valley, Palm Desert. Let's go on the coast. Make this feel like Outrun a little bit. Wow, that is a face. That is... I'm glad I woke up this morning to see something special like that. Okay, the scrolling from the background is quite nice. It's relatively smooth. The rest of the animation, not so much, but that seems to be the case with a lot of Road Rash games. It's like they seem to be kind of herky-jerky animated. But, you know what? I'm kind of appreciating this for what it is. I'm not going to say that this is better than Hang On, because I don't think I could ever bear to say that about any motorcycle game, but it seems okay. Again, I think you'd probably prefer to play the Genesis or any other version of this. But it seems okay, and the music's pretty awesome. Gotta admit, I do like the music. And there's awkward faces. That's always a plus. Whoop. I am surprised it can handle, like, the it's not palette cycling, but the scroll to the background like that, as well as it is. Like, I wouldn't think it would be able to handle that half as smoothly as it seems to be able to. Well done, SMS. And well done, GBA Pirate Multicart ROM conversion of that. Because you are handling that relatively well. Now, of course, this is a game where you can punch people off their bikes, because otherwise it would just be a bad Hang On clone. But this one's basically Hang On, but with violence, so it's totally interesting and different. I don't know, like I said, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of like high praise for this series, and I'm not sure I see it, but I'm not seeing a bad game by any means either. I just don't think this is quite like Hang On competition grade stuff. But of course, it's hard to be competition for Hang On. Hang On was awesome. But it controls well enough. It's relatively smooth. The animations maybe not so much, at least on your character. Like the tilting from side to side, there's like a weird sort of slow, sluggish delay, but it doesn't feel like that's impeded by the controls. Like, it feels like it's turning fairly accurately to the controls. It's just like the animation's a bit sluggish behind it. I am really digging the music to this, though. How far to the end, though? I wonder. I know they made a Road Rash N64 game as well as a PS1 game. I know they made one on the Game Boy Color? Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, one of the two. So it's not like this series didn't do well after the Genesis. Well, actually, as I understand, those games weren't very good. It kind of lost its spark after the Genesis, but from what I hear, you know, it's still a pretty solid series, and from what I'm playing, I'm kind of seeing it. I don't think this is necessarily the one you want to be playing out of all of them, if you have much of a choice, but, you know, I'm not really having too many complaints with it. I'm really struggling to find much to talk about, honestly, though. And I'm curious as to why this level is so long. Because I think we've been on the same level for like 4 minutes now. Alright, we finished. Alright, we beat it by 12 seconds. I'll take that. Alright. So that's game number 3. Next we have Royal Stone. No idea what this is, but it's a Game Gear game. Original character design. Many long years ago, Sacra Lux of the Light blessed our lands and forged for us royal stones. Huh? I mean, that's clearly English for the most part, but I'm not sure what you mean by any of that. Okay, so the stone somehow fixed everything because plot MacGuffin. Okay. Oh, I can't skip this either. I can speed it up, but... Okay, the darkness did a thing. Nations had a war. Something bad happened to some guy named Dinner. Let's go play some Royal Stones. New. Oh, good, I'm in prison. Gotta admit, this is probably one of the most detailed games I've seen so far on this cartridge. Just in terms of, like, the quality of the environment design. Alright. Okay, what are her crimes? Explain, game. Preferably not in a way you're expositioning at me, but let me learn things, like, you know, naturally. Also, I do have to appreciate the amount of color and detail in this screen. Like, this might be one of the best looking Game Gear games I've seen. Okay, so she betrayed her fellow knights, it sounds like. And it looks like she's about to be executed. I'm getting some, like, Chancellor from Chrono Trigger vibes off this guy. So what did happen, Eva? Explain to us. Okay, skip through some text there, I didn't mean to. So you can actually press the button multiple times without it actually finishing a line of text to skip it. That I'm not sure how I feel about. So she fought alongside the enemy. She took her sword against her comrades. I will say the like, text scroll is a bit, not very smooth. You're not allowed to die then. Death is too good. So, we're going to send you on some sort of suicide mission. Yeah, like, the text scroll there's something really unnaturally unsmooth about that. You are banished. That seems a little bit light, if you're saying that she actively, like, fought against her teammates. Why would I be going back to my own cell? I'd be supposed to be, like, ejected from the premises, rather. Magic flying baby. Okay. Okay, that's just... That was probably like some kind of like wind effect on his robes, but it just looked like he was shaking it in place. That was awesome. I need a gif of that, like, now. I'm aware, but I need to stay with this girl forever because reasons of plot. It's extraordinary. That's why she attacked her own teammates and, you know, fratricide and all that. I mean, I don't really want to, but I guess we're gonna look after this girl. Alright. Okay, so I can't skip this. This is slow, but I want to get to gameplay. And we've already been sitting here for at least 3 minutes. Oh, we're going to get crucified. That's fun. Well, I mean, clearly I have some kind of god on my side, so I'm not really worried. Are you going to, like, slingshot me or something into the sea? Oh. Okay. It's been half a year since I was... Oh! It's gonna be all sort of vaguely, Shining Force. Okay. I'm enjoying this. I like Shining Force a lot. Yeah. Didn't we already play, like, a... Yeah, you know, looking at that face, that seems familiar. We already played a game that was basically like this, didn't we? Like, it wasn't this game specifically. Like, because the first level was different, and if I recall, you serve with 6 people. But I'm guessing it stars, like, the same initial cast or something, because I recognize her design. So I'm pretty sure they're connected. But yeah, we've got another strategy RPG. I can dig that. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. End. Now I have to wait, because the computer has to think about its moves. I mean, it's not the most baffling move set ever. You move forward, you attack things, and since I'm the thing you want to attack, you move all your guys towards me. You're a werewolf guy. Okay, that could have done more than I would have liked, but, well, we seem to be doing more damage than them, so that's the important thing. I do like the character designs, and the overall art style is quite lovely. Okay, I want you to... No! Wait. Okay. Sure. Let's just not pay attention to what I want you to do. That's fine. I wanted you to attack, but... Okay. At least one of you looked like a mage. I don't know why you didn't mage for me, but there you go. Okay, now you're doing damage. Oh, we got critted. That's not so ideal. Okay, he's level 1. And we seem to have an advantage on him, so I'm not really worried, but... You have 9 health. You're going down after this attack, buddy. Down you go. Alright, Eva got some experience. Now we're gonna fight more of these guys. He cloned himself. So be it. Although I am losing health rather quickly, I might have to put her in the back row, so to speak. Okay, you seem less sturdy than a werewolf. And I could already do 50 damage to them. Okay, so you have a lot more going on for you than the werewolves. Noted. Okay, we got another one of these guys. Seriously, stop doing so much damage to this guy. I was expecting him to sort of, you know, take care of everything, seeing as our protagonist lady is already kind of in a rough spot. Okay, we got 60 health for her. I'm gonna move her back. Okay, well, we can scan. Yes, I remember this kind of awkward interface. Yes, this is definitely a sequel or perhaps prequel to the other game. Okay, it's one of those guys. You, attack that guy. And if you suddenly start telling me you're a mage, I'm going to be really angry. Because you look like a mage, but you wouldn't let me mage last turn. Freaking old man the hedgehog over here with his spinny ball move. Okay. You notice that's the same problem. If you press A on your character, it automatically decides that you're skipping your turn. I don't like that. That was the same problem. Yep, I remember playing this game already. Or rather, a prequel or sequel of it. Although this seems to be continuing a story, so I'm betting this is probably the sequel to it. Alright, that's another werewolf down. Although our bald monk guy is in less than stellar shape right now. He seems to be fire element, whereas this guy seems to be water element. That could be why his damage is doing less compared to, say, the other guys. But let's see what Eva's damage is. Yeah, she's doing more, so I'm guessing elements play into the standard attack. I would think that would only have to do with, like, magic resistances, but I guess not. Alright, let's see what this guy can do. They're both water element, so they're probably going to not be able to do much. Although our guy's clearly doing more. Good for you, our guy. Although that said, I'm not sure how much more we can take. I want to back her off. And we're gonna have him attack this guy. Go get him, old man the hedgehog. There we go. Okay, now this guy can take these two out. I think there's one more guy up there that didn't follow suit, but I might be wrong. Still, it's better to always sort of, like, prepare for the worst and just hope for the best. Well, that kind of sucks. He's got 6 health left. Yes, this guy who... I don't know who this is. Okay. I'm guessing he's probably a different character altogether, and he's going to play slightly differently. Probably hit a lot harder because he's going to be like the boss, I would assume. Still, if we go at him 3-on-1, we might be able to make it. We'll just have to play it kind of smart. Stop going after my one guy. That's smart tactics, and I don't need the enemy to be using those right now. I know it's a little inconsiderate of me to ask for that, but seriously, quit it. Okay. I don't know how much health you have, but let's hope I can take you out. Yup. Alright. Okay. Move this guy here, and we're going to try and box this guy in so that he doesn't get a clear shot at Eva. Just because I think it's safe to say she'll probably go down in one hit if we let him have a straight shot towards her. Okay. We're going to move this guy over here. He should have enough health to be able to take a couple hits from this guy. I would hope. As long as the enemy can't move during his attack phase towards Eva, that's what matters. But that guy's probably definitely dead by the end of this. Yeah, that would be the strategically rational thing to have done. Okay, let's take Old Man the Hedgehog and take this guy out. Eugene. The other guys were called the same thing, but this guy gets a different name because he's special, I guess. Well, seeing as he'll come kill our protagonist anyway, this is basically a Hail Mary. Betting it all in one move. Done. Take that, Eugene. And we leveled up. Don't you feel silly? Having lost to a previously unleveled character. Curses! Dead. Okay. That wasn't too bad. On to game number 5. We got Segaya, which I believe is just Darius 2. Which is with a dumb name. Honestly, every time I see Segaya, I get it confused with a Genesis shooter called Gaia Res. But yeah, this is just Darius 2. Not to be confused with Darius Gaiden, which is a better Darius game. I'm not super familiar with the Darius games, except for Darius Gaiden, but I know that one's probably one of the better ones, too. I've played G-Darius, or as the cool kids like to call it, Gadarius. That game's okay, but it's not Darius Gaiden. But Darius was always a fun little series. It sort of had similarities to Outrun, kind of. I know you can see that mechanically, but crap, I am bad at this. I'm gonna blame the controls. That's my excuse. But it is somewhat similar to Outrun in the sense that at the end of every level you are given the choice as to where to go next. And that sort of just turns your sort of everyday average shooter into basically a choose-your-own adventure shooter. Which, in my opinion, makes it better in pretty much every respect. And my cat is meowing at me quite a lot. But, you know, Segaya is... it's okay. Again, I would probably rate a lot of other Dariuses higher than this one. Especially Darius Gaiden. Seriously, it's the best one. Got a review, go check that out. Enough plugs. But, it's an okay shooter. I know I've said this so many times, but this is probably not the version to play. Like, that's the problem with a lot of things that were multi-platform, but also on the SMS long after things were available on, like, the Genesis and stuff. It's just, why would you ever want to play the SMS version unless it did that classic 90s thing of having the same name and same cover art, but be completely different games? That's one thing I miss about the 90s. Like, nowadays, you can have 1,000,001 different versions of the same game with the same cover art and the same name and everything, and it's identical. Or it might have, like, a different skin or something as a bonus for, like, people who get one version over the other, but, I mean, what happened to the days when people could just go in with 2 different consoles, buy the exact same game, and get 2 completely different experiences? I genuinely miss that. I think that was something kind of magical about the 90s that was just completely lost. But that said, this is not the version of any sort of Darius I would recommend. That said, I think Segaya also came out on the Genesis. I know it came out on the Game Boy. I would think that to be a slightly worse version than this, just by virtue of the fact that it has slightly less color, and thus less interesting to look at, but that's how it is. Anyway, game over, and my cat's meowing at me, so I think that's a sign we need to wrap things up. Cats, they just love to ruin recordings. You have no idea how many times I've gone through this with my cat interrupting and making a lot of noise. Anyway, based on these past 5 games, would I recommend it? Well, Rampage really isn't my cup of tea, but it's decent. Restar starts off basically like the Genesis version, which is awesome, and then becomes its own unique thing from what I can tell, which is even awesomer. Road Rash, I don't think this game will convince you to enjoy Road Rash, but it was decent enough. Royal Stones appears to be a sequel to that other game I can't even remember the name of. I've got a terrible memory, but if you like strategy RPGs, definitely. In fact, if I recall, that other one automatically caused you to skip your turn just on virtue of the fact that if you didn't have like an active input into your D-pad as to like what direction you wanted to attack, it assumed that you were skipping your turn. This one actually didn't. It remembered, like if you press down, it would actually remember you pressed down and not return to your character. So this is an upgrade. This one's better, and it's a sequel, which is pretty cool. And Segaya, I don't want to say it's bad because it's honestly not, but I would say it's a thing that fills out another page here. It does its thing, it's okay. It wouldn't be a thing I'd recommend to buy this whole thing with, but it's okay. So based on these past 5, yeah. The only thing about this I'm not super keen on, honestly, is Rampage, and even Rampage is okay. And the rest are all fairly excellent. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and join us next time for Shining Force. I love Shining Force. I'm getting excited about this. But I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, subscribe to the show to see more, because we're doing this every single week. Look forward to that. We've already got past episodes. We got an NES multi-cart done, and we're going to do a lot more in the future, plus reviews, gameplay videos, and stream archives. Speaking of, you might want to check out and follow and possibly subscribe to support the Twitch stream, as I stream every day, usually Animal Crossing, but some other stuff as well, so look forward to that. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is play awesome multi-carts while having a cat interrupt me, but also get to enjoy really cool Restar, interesting sequels, and some fun ports that weren't horrible. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for Shining Force. But until then, peace out, Internet.